everybody, 7th grade. Today we are going to be looking at how to graph multiple inequalities. So we're going to graph multiple, which means more than one, inequalities, which shouldn't be too hard considering we've graphed inequalities before. So we should be all good to go on that front. So looking at this, we're going to review just for graphing one. And if I have something that says, let's do x is less than 4, what I would want to do is I would draw my number line here, make sure I have 4 on it, and I'm going to draw an open circle here. So we're going to remember that open circles are going to be for less than or greater than, and closed circles are going to be for less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. So because this is less than, we're going to have an open circle, and then less than is going to be on the smaller side. So I'm going to use the side that's smaller than 4, just draw an arrow, and I'm done. So that's not too bad, but what we're going to do today is graph multiple of them. So there's really like 2 different things that could happen. So the first one is going to be if I have an OR. So that's my first option, is if I have an OR, and this would look like x is greater than or equal to 3, or x is less than 1. So let's look at what this is. So I can graph both of these on a number line. Start at 0 here. Goes all the way up to 10. And negative 10, just to make sure we have everything we need. And I'm going to start with this first one. So this says x is greater than or equal to 3. So I'm going to find 3, which is 1, 2, 3 right here. Greater than or equal to is going to be closed because it has the equal to sign. And it's going to be on the bigger side. My x is less than 1. It's going to be at the 1 here. I'm going to draw an open circle because it's just less than. And the less than side is over here. And just like that, we are done. So that's not too bad. If we see or just means to draw both. So this means that any number that is covered by this arrow is a number that works for my equation. So 5, which is right here, is covered by the arrow, so I could plug 5 in, and 5 is greater than or equal to 3. Or I could plug in 0, and 0 is less than 1. So it can be either or, so we're going to draw both of our lines. The other option, if we don't have an or, we're going to have an and. So let's look at what and looks like. An and would be something along the lines of x is greater than or equal to negative 5, and x is less than 7. So let's go ahead and graph this one. And when I graph it, I'm going to start at 0 here. Go up to 10. Down to negative 10, and 7 is going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open circle, remember, because it's not an equal to sign there. Negative 5 is going to be the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a closed circle because it's greater than or equal to. So it has to be both greater than or equal to negative 5, which is going to be this way, and it has to be less than 7, which is going to be this way. So when we have ands, what we want to do is to connect our arrows. So if I draw this like so just connecting my arrows there, that is what my and would look like. And the reason for this is if I picked negative 10, I could say, well, negative 10 is definitely less than 7 here. So negative 10 is, oh, not what I wanted. Negative 10 is in fact less than 7, which means that it works, but it also needs to, so the and means it also needs to be greater than or equal to negative 5. So to make that happen, all we're going to do is connect our arrows, and just like that, we are done. So I want to show you guys a bit of a more complicated one, just to make sure that we are working on things that we're going to see on more challenging problems. So if I have 3x plus 2 is greater than 5, or 5x is less than 20. I can solve these, And if I see something like this, I'm going to want to solve them separately. So I'm going to start off on this side. So I have my x here that I want to get by itself. And to them, I'm going to start by subtracting 2. 3x is going to stay there, so I have 3x. Plus 2 minus 2 canceled out. I have greater than 5 minus 2, which is 3. Now to get x alone, I'm going to divide by 3. And I get x is greater than 3. I'm still going to have my or, and on this side, I'm going to want to get x alone by dividing by 5. And I'll end up with x is less than 4. So we have to make sure that we connect everything. And this is going to get a little bit weird on this number line. So this has the exception to the rule in it. So it says that x has to either be greater than 3 or less than 4. So 3 is right here. I'm going to have an arrow going this way for 3. And 4 is right here, and I need an arrow going that way. So if we remember for or, that meant that we left both arrows. So we just draw both arrows and we're done. But looking at this arrow is going to keep on going forever that way, and this arrow is going to keep on going forever that way. They also cover up our holes here, which are the circles. This is because they're empty circles, but they're covered up. That doesn't really matter anymore. So our final graph is just going to be one big line on top, because that's telling us that any number works. No matter what number I pick, it will either be greater than 3 or less than 4, no matter what I use. And just like that, I am pretty much finished with the lesson. So I will see y'all in class, and y'all have a great day. Toodaloo.